How do I know when we are live? How do I know? It says view 0. I think that means we're live. We have to test. We have to test to find out. Hello, everyone. I think that we must be live by now. I'm trying to capture the whole greeting, but I'm not sure that's even possible. I don't know. I don't know if anyone can see me. Probably no one is watching anyway, so it doesn't matter. I said something in a stream a few streams ago, 2 streams ago, that I have had some time to reflect on, and I thought about it. And I saw some people posting on the internet their opinions, and one of the opinions I thought was pretty controversial but good was that you should never delete anything of your that you create. If you're a content creator, you should never delete any of your content that you create and publish, no matter how bad you think it is, because um, you could inspire someone. I mean, there was a whole host of reasons why, but your bad content could inspire someone. You know, they could go back and look at when you've made it, when you've achieved whatever status or goal you sought out to achieve, and you've officially made it. And people go back and look at the garbage you put out when you when you were first learning how to put garbage out and make it look nice. People, could be inspired by that, and it's, um, when you see people, influencers on TikTok or wherever, and they're posting their thing that they've scripted and that they're trying to pump their numbers up or whatever, doing the numbers game, and they well, anyway, that you should never delete anything, that you should show real stuff, show how you can create things, just show what's real, don't show scripted garbage. That's my takeaway. Anyway, so we do have a little bit of a scripted component today because there's some news that we're see if I can find the set of tabs here. I've got all my tabs. I'm going to bring in some tabs for you. This is not it. That's not it, is it? We're close. Oh, almost. Wait a minute. There's a lot more of these things than I thought I was going to address today. Let's see. We're going to talk about Christmas presents. One of the Christmas presents that we got, of course, like we get every year, is Ruby 3.3, and that is the subject of this stream today. And we're going to see if we can find, here we go, this is the one. Ruby doesn't compile on macOS. So there's a something I learned. This is a TIL episode. Today I learned. We're going to talk about what I learned setting up Ruby. And one of the things I learned pertains to the recurring subject of the stream, which is all about hosting. We're doing web hosting of some kind, usually, right? And all right, so I did find a wiki called Outline. I don't know if this is a good wiki or not, but so we've got our Urbit hosted wiki, which I have a medium amount of faith in. I have a decent amount of faith in Urbit because I've run it for so long. I don't think that there's much that can go wrong other than the colossal things that can go wrong, like a continuity breach. We know there are things that can go wrong in our Urbit, and we might have to recover from a disaster at some point. Urbit, we call those disasters continuity breaches. That's the biggest kind of disaster. They used to have a whole network-wide breach protocol. That's a whole other stream. But they used to have a whole network-wide breach protocol, and now when you breach your individual identity. You don't have to breach the whole network all at once. That was certainly onerous. All right, but so in the terms of hosting, one of the things that we need for continuity reasons is agreement on how encryption is done and how secure communication is done. And So one of the things I found out pretty recently, maybe this is not the right set of tabs, but one of the things I found out is that Ruby, uh, Ruby used to build in OpenSSL, and now I think it's been factored out. Here, this is actually the set of tabs I wanted to share. All right, yeah. So this is important now, where it might not have been important a while ago, because you could still get upgrades for OpenSSL 1.1. And I guess OpenSSL 1.1 is the version that Ruby built against. Um, so the big news for me, at least, that I did not understand, and I've been on Ruby 3 for a while now, so I managed to avoid understanding this, was that if you are using OpenSSL 1.1, then you're on this old legacy SSL that's been maintained for continuity reasons, for the purposes of making sure that people can still install Ruby. And if you want to install Ruby 2 or earlier, and something is lagging my console here, I'm not sure why, but I'm scrolling, and suddenly it stops scrolling. I wonder what's causing that. Is there something we can shut off? Point at. Let's see, maybe one of these tabs has a heavy footprint. We can get rid of it. I don't know. We'll just have to live with that. I think it's okay. It might have something to do with the streaming that we're doing. It might even be the green screen that I just added. It's possible that that has an impact on the performance of my computer during the stream. Let's see if we can narrow it down a little bit. I'd really like to know. Yeah, so OBS is using a fair amount of CPU. DisplayLink is using some CPU. DisplayLink, if you're not familiar, is the tool that I use so that I have the ability to do multiple external monitors on my M1 Mac. Yeah. Okay, so rolling let's go back. All right. So it's important to know that Ruby 3.0 is apparently the only one that you can use on M1 Macs and newer. If you try to build an earlier than Ruby 2.7 on an M1 Mac, then it will fail. And I must have learned this at some point because uh, I use Ruby and I do have an M1 Mac here, so I must have learned that, or maybe I tripped over it at some point. But so you have two options if you need to use Ruby and you have an M1 Mac. Option number one, probably best option, is to upgrade to a supported version. And the other option would be to do something like a dev container, where we're no longer putting macOS and Ruby together in the same operating system bucket. That would be in a virtual machine or something. So that's cool. All right, so let's figure out if we can close something that will get this to go down. Why are we using so much? Maybe, I don't know. Oh, oh, we might have figured it out, actually. That was easier than I thought. Let's see if we can reproduce that issue here. Okay, so what I changed, actually, this is cool. All right, cool. Yeah. The problem is, okay, here, this is my DisplayLink monitor over here. This left-hand side monitor, it's your right. Um, and he is not uh, having it. He's not enjoying having OBS on him for whatever reason. I guess that's just something that I need to be aware of while I'm doing streaming. Okay. Yeah. So I did apologize for. I kind of said I want to be respectful of everyone's time and apologize for wasting so much of everyone's time, but I do want to walk some of that back because it's not really a waste of time. We're learning, and you know, this is my stream, and one of my favorite streamers of all time, Chris Nova, said famously on her stream, at least once, I'm sure. I didn't watch very often, but she said, um, "We're gonna do what I fucking want because it's my fucking stream." If I remember correctly, that was about because it's my fucking show. That was so. So pardon my French, but we're gonna do what I want because it's my stream, and if you don't like it, tune into something else. But we're doing stream stuff, and I apologize if I waste anybody's time, or if you perceive it as a waste of time. But we're doing fun stuff and stream stuff, and sometimes that overlaps with something that's a good use of our time. And I typically do this stream on my own time. It's not something I do uh, as part of work. Unless it is part of work, then sometimes those things overlap as well. But okay, so we've got our stream going. We've got our stream, and we said we were going to do some Ruby celebrations. So RVM is not installed. Remember, we said we're moving to a new user, and I'm gonna move to ZSH because I've been using Bash for my entire career, and it seems like the defaults have changed, and I don't want to be left behind. So I kind of want to. All right, so we've got RVM installed, and we've got the new Ruby installed, and I just wanted to share with everyone what I learned about OpenSSL and Ruby. So we can see the problem. So Homebrew moved also. That's why we have to use this other user, because macOS is not rigorously multi-user. So if you're installing things like Homebrew, I mean, maybe macOS is rigorously multi-user, but the software that you install in it doesn't really perceive that as a thing. So like, for example, Homebrew is owned by a user, and there's this user group admin, which I guess if my user is in admin group, I should be able to do things in here. But it turns out, if you start to do things in the Homebrew let's do brew upgrade as a non-Homebrew owner, it's going to warn you right away. You should absolutely not be doing this. You made some kind of terrible mistake by having more than one Homebrew, or by having more than one user on a machine that uses Homebrew. So here we are in our new user, and Brew Doctor is probably going to tell us what I want to see. This is the error. So we've been using a legacy version of OpenSSL, which I just was unaware of, and I'm becoming aware of it now because somewhere around here, one of these tabs made it clear to me, if I can find the tab, that actually the version of OpenSSL that we're using is deprecated. I'm not sure where I found this, but it's not going to be maintained anymore. So in September 2023, OpenSSL 1.1 was end of life, I guess. We've got lots of things wrong here. Let's see. Some installed formula are deprecated or disabled. You should find replacements for these. Yeah, okay. So there we go. You have unlinked kegs in your cellar. I don't know what any of that stuff is. Leaving kegs unlinked can lead to build trouble. Well, I know what at least one of those things is. Okay, you have uncommitted modifications. How did we get that? If this is a surprise to you, then you should stash those modifications. Stashing returns Homebrew to a pristine state but can be undone. Wow, this is really neat. I didn't know any of this stuff was here. So let's see if we can see what is that git diff. Can we? Oh, it's not there. Git status. Excuse me. I don't know how I got this in here. I think I must have used this to install an old version of EKS or something. I'm just gonna stash it like it said to do. So what we want to do is make these brew doctor messages go away to the best of our abilities here. And one of the things we need to do is get rid of this OpenSSL 1.1 that we've been depending on. And we only know that we depend on it because if we did rvm install without a prefix, then we get a Ruby that's compiled without support for OpenSSL, which I thought that was not what we wanted. I thought we wanted OpenSSL support in our Ruby. But what I found out actually is if you want to use Ruby 3 with OpenSSL 3, what you need is the OpenSSL gem at version 3. You don't need Ruby with SSL built in, because Ruby with SSL built in is legacy to support this old version of OpenSSL. So we won't be doing that. So we're going to get rid of all these with OpenSSL dir things, these invocations that don't work. This command here is the one I tried that did not work. Somewhere I've got brew prefix here. So this is reinstall. Yeah, we did reinstall the Rubies with OpenSSL at 1.1. And that did work, but it gave us Ruby based on OpenSSL 1.1, which is not what we want. So we're going to uninstall OpenSSL 1.1. We're going to uninstall Node 14. I don't think I need any of these old things. I'm going to keep YouTube DL because that's a good one. And we'll probably get rid of this unlinked keg here. We don't need all these things. Some of them we don't need. We're going to get rid of things one by one in our old account until we're ready to transition to the new account. But this is one thing that went with us because we just changed the ownership on our homebrew, and that landed us here in this situation. So let's see. Let's see the impact here. So you can see the impact because, all right, bundle install. So we're going to do bundle clean, which is not a command you normally run, which is why it warns you, don't do that. But we're going to do it. Okay. Bundle check is going to tell us, oh, bundle clean, I guess. Well, that was not the command I want. Bundle uninstall. How do you remove? Can we do like all? There's no command to do this. Bundle install in reverse. All right, so we're using gem sets, we're using RVM. We're just going to uninstall everything in Ruby. But let's start with RVM gems. We're just going to start with this gem set here. Bug scrub here, because that should have all of the gems. Bundle check should fail now. Great. Okay, so now if we do bundle install, you see that it's contacting rubygems.org and it's using SSL. And then if we do bundle, let's see, RVM reinstall, we're just going to do reinstall without that OpenSSL dir. and so we're on Ruby 3.0.6. Okay, so we'll just uninstall Ruby and reinstall Ruby. RVM uninstall 3.0.6. Yeah, just remove it. And we'll get rid of the new Ruby as well, since we don't want to have any Ruby. We just want to see the failure. All right, so things fail because there's no Ruby to run anything in. And RVM install 3.0.6. We're going to get Ruby with no baked-in OpenSSL. And actually, while we're here, yeah, it's trying to update some things. All right, let's start over. Brew uninstall OpenSSL at 1.1. So we don't want that package anywhere near us. And it is depended on by some things. So let's see. Oh, we're going to have to get rid of YouTube DL. Manager node at 14 lib slurp lib nice. Damn. I don't think we need any of those things anyway. All right. rm-r opt homebrew at c OpenSSL at 1.1. All gone. Okay. So we should see significantly fewer problems in brew doctor now, right? I think this is going to look better if I move this up closer to the camera. Yeah, now can't really tell if I'm looking at the camera. I have to put this up here. I guess I'm looking pretty close to the camera. Looks good. All right. Yeah, so well, let's get rid of these two while we're here. Great. Now we should have only errors about unlinked kegs. That's all. No other problems in brew doctor. Great. Cool. So then if we do the RVM install 3.0.6, we are going to get an error. I think. Because we don't have the OpenSSL gem. Oh, it's trying to install OpenSSL at 1.1. Ah, I didn't think it would do that. Well, maybe that's a compatibility thing. So we might actually have to upgrade our Ruby in order to remove this dependency. I think this is like a transitional thing, right? So we're going to remove RVM when we're done because it's installing, and then let's see. I'm pretty pleased with this green screen. I set it up in the last video, and it's doing the thing. It's doing exactly what I wanted it to do. It's nice. It's very nice. I wonder if it works with a Zoom call. That's the next thing to test, I guess. Probably works fine. Bundle check. All right, so problem here is we don't have the OpenSSL gem listed in our gem file, so we need that. That's the thing that I learned, I think. Bundle, and we actually need to install the OpenSSL gem. We cannot install OpenSSL, rebuild Ruby, or use non-HTTPS sources. So we might actually need to reinstall Ruby one more time. So we could just use a non-HTTPS source to bootstrap OpenSSL. That's probably what most normal people will do. But I guess that's not how this works. Yeah, so let's see. Wait a minute. Who's talking to me? Oh, I got an appointment tomorrow. Not especially happy about that, but it's an appointment for my foot. We're going to get my foot taken care of. So I really like to be able to walk and run and ski. I can't really run, but I could ski. My feet were in good shape. So them verrucas. Damn verruca. Verruca planer. Yeah. So this will be my third treatment and hopefully the last. Get rid of the nasty warts. Ooh, I hate them. They change the way you walk. This is one I'd probably rather delete, but I'm just going to keep it because the theme today is keep all your warts on your stream. But on your foot, get rid of them. You want to walk normally. What a disgusting premise for a stream. Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay. All right, so we've seen the impact now. The impact is we cannot bundle install if we do not have a proper OpenSSL. But we can gem install OpenSSL bundle. Here we go. All right, so we've got our OpenSSL 3.2 with native extensions. That means it's linking to the OpenSSL library, and it happens to match the latest version, which is OpenSSL at 3.2 in brew. So now I think what that means is we can do RVM reinstall 3.0.6 without that 1.1, and it will work, I think. We'll give it a try anyway. Hopefully we can build Ruby 3.3 without OpenSSL 1.1. That would be ideal. That's what we'd like to see, I think. There's some interdependencies, some interesting interdependencies. So I guess if you're still on Rails 5 or less, then you are still using Ruby with OpenSSL 1.1. Because your bundler, maybe that's not actually connected. No, the bundler 2, I think bundler 2 is the major version bump that we got. And in order to get on the latest bundler, you have to be. So something doesn't, nothing comes along and moves you off of OpenSSL 1.1, I guess. There just isn't anything that will require you to do this upgrade if you don't know that you need it. You'll just be running on a deprecated SSL forever. So that's not great. That's not ideal. Here we go. Installed Ruby gems is newer. There was an error. Installing gem OpenSSL. Install of Ruby 3.06 complete. Make gem set pristine. Oh, gems pristine. OpenSSL version failed. Alright, so I guess we really do need... What's the deal here? Gem, because its extensions are not built. OSSL HMAC for declaration. OSSL. So strange. So there's this with OpenSSL dir. Couldn't figure out how to pass with bundle. Okay, here is how. Okay. Oops. That's going to take some getting used to. So if I press Control C here and bash, I get to keep that line that I just found. But if I do it here, I actually don't get to keep it. So, all right. So we want brew prefix not at 1.1, but at 3. Bundle config build.openssl with OpenSSL dir equals so this is the danger. This is the danger of showing you a thing that I just began to understand myself. So let's try upgrading. All right, let's just try it. RVM install 3.3.0. So we're going to install 3.3.0. It is going to be missing that OpenSSL dependency, hopefully, because we don't want 1.1 anymore. We don't want to depend on 1.1. Now it's still looking at the 1.1 bundle. Well, maybe we'll still need that for a while. Maybe we'll still need to pass that with whatever it is. We'll give this another try, and then if it doesn't work, we'll go on the way we have been. So I would love to know, how do we get rid of... I thought one of these outlines did explain it, but it doesn't seem like we've got all the details that we need to do this. Ruby doesn't compile. Hmm. Okay, I think that makes sense. All right, we're going to dump our RVM directory and start over. All right, we need we actually need this gemrc. It's got gem no document in there. That's going to make things go faster unless they already made that the default. And then we want rvm.io, get the latest RVM again. Then we want rvm get head, the latest RVM. Okay. And we're going to put that Ruby version back to 3.0.6 for now. And we are going to try rvm install 3.0.6 with OpenSSL dir brew prefix OpenSSL at 3. So this should work, I think. Let's try it. We might need to upgrade to Ruby 3.2 for this, or 3.3. It's possible, or maybe they just fixed the incompatibility and this time it's going to work. What I did read though is you can't use Ruby 2.7 with a Mac M1. So if you've got people with Mac M1s on your team, then it should really be a priority to upgrade this stuff so that they can continue to work. To at least upgrade to 3. I don't know. I just envision that the place that I used to work is probably still on all the same old versions that we used when we, I hope they're not. We had this big discussion about an upgrade project, and I just remember everyone coming to the conclusion that this was going to be too big and difficult for us, and we were never going to do it. and that's certainly not optimal, but sometimes that is what you wind up with. Well, it looks like that worked. Are we able to bundle install now? Does not look that way, no. Let's try the new 3.3.0. Maybe that will work. There's this arbitrage opportunity. I'm going to call it an arbitrage opportunity because big words sometimes make people pay attention. Sometimes makes them tune out. So if that made you tune out, think of it as just an optimization. But there is this arbitrage opportunity. I'm calling it one because I perceive it as an arbitrage here. Is that we'd like to be on the latest version, because if we're not on the latest version, that means something is wrong about our upgrade process. And we don't want there to be something wrong about our upgrade process, so we should be on the latest version, tautologically, just because. Unless there's something specific holding us back, we should always be upgrading. And there was something holding us back, but if there is ever something preventing us from staying on the old version, then that would force us to upgrade, and I perceive that as an arbitrage opportunity. I would just say that's a instant savings, because whatever was holding us back, we're just going to bolt past it. We're just going to forget that that thing was even a problem, and we might even lose some dependencies along the way. If it turns out some dependency is holding us back and we can get rid of that dependency and not be held back anymore, we win twice there. We win once because each dependency costs us something in maintenance, and we win again because we get to upgrade to the latest version, which we weren't going to be able to do because of our dependency. So even if we're in the end stuck with OpenSSL 1.1 for some reason that we don't understand, and we only get to use the OpenSSL 3 in projects where we actually incorporate it as a gem, I think that is still a win, because we get to learn about. Let's see. Okay. So if we can skip straight over 3.0 point, 3.1 point everything, 3.2, and just go straight to 3.3, great. That would be awesome. So bundle. Looks like that does work. So we might just get rid of 3.0. Might not need that. I guess we installed into the global gem set. Made a mistake. Or in the default gem set. Another cool thing we can talk about on a different stream maybe is gem sets and how useful they are, and how misunderstood they typically are. How they are not usually implemented correctly, and how that can result in a net loss for you. Time loss. Here we are experiencing a similar time loss, the one I'm worried about. Cool. Yeah, I think one of those gems did have a problem with Ruby 3.3, but maybe it doesn't anymore. Maybe we should bundle upgrade for good measure. but it looks like that worked. Let's see. Is our bug scrub spreadsheet around? Here we go. Bug scrub 89. Yeah, we reset the data here. Cool. Take our filter off. Do make clean, and then we do make. And what this does, of course, is it takes all of the status information from here. So we've got issue 4452 that, if it's still open, will show up in this list with the status information that we have from here. So let's see if that works. And then we can filter. Yeah, this is a great tool. We use this for bug scrub, and I would love to make this into a Kubernetes operator. There just isn't time. There hasn't been. Maybe we will still have time. Oh no, gem set testing. We need a gem set testing. RVM do create testing. Then what do we see? Make clean. What is it compiling? Yeah, so first it populates this raw data table, which it's actually doing in a CSV file before it goes anywhere. It takes the CSV file output of this EPR, which stands for export pull requests. It's a gem. And then it takes the output of this test scaffold that is my horrible GraphQL querier that does GraphQL queries in the worst possible way. Does get them done, puts this discussions.csv file, puts them all together here in the raw data, and then, like I said, brings them back here. So we want to see our status for 4452. Well, there it is. It's 4452. It hasn't changed. Same status. Great. Great. Cool. Then I'll typically delete this spreadsheet since it's done, and we'll use this for the next bug scrub. That's great. Cool, so we fixed our Ruby installation. That was really the main goal for this stream. I know I wrote some different goals on the YouTube link, but that was the main goal for me, is to make sure that we did upgrade and show some of what we learned. I'm not really happy. I'm not really completely clear that we did understand what we did there, or that we did get rid of, right? If we do brew doctor, we just have that 1.1 back. I'm not sure why we need it. But one day, hopefully we can get rid of that. RVM will let us get rid of that. And We want to do our recap. Let's see. YouTube. Let's see. Get our recap in. So here's our live. But one day, hopefully, we can get. I am. Cool. That's great. All right. So we've done our Ruby upgrade for one project at least, and we do have a new OpenSSL. Seems to be, at least. I don't know if we're using it. We have 2 OpenSSLs installed. I think if we're probably not using it. That's probably the answer. I don't know. If I gem file, OpenSSL, gem file.lock, OpenSSL 3.2. So let's just do bundle. There's no upgrade command. Bundle update. Let's just update everything. We should be able to update everything. There might be some version pins. I think the version pins we're stuck with. We're going to have to keep them. That's okay. Well, I don't know. I don't know if we got everything we really wanted out of this stream, but we did upgrade Ruby. That's good. And we did capitalize on that arbitrage opportunity. Gonna have to update all of my nice aliases and stuff. GP. I think aliases mostly work the same way on ZSH. I don't know. Oh, this was going to be a comprehensive set of instructions, and it's not anything like that. I'm so sorry. But let's see. Install. We can do close. All right, so we've got our RVM install with OpenSSL dir equals that. Gemset create bug scrub and testing. How did we do that? RVM do bundle install. Okay. Probably don't have a SSH key or a PGP key anymore. Ruby 3.3.0 and bundle update. This command changed my life. This one helped a little bit. What else? We want, definitely don't want to do merges unless we request them on purpose. Wait a minute. Merge should always merge. If you said merge, it should not fast forward. And yeah, let's do that. I don't know what those are, or if I need them. Core, editor, probably want that. Push, default equals simple. I don't know what that does. Looks good. GPG, program equals GPG. We will use that eventually. Have to set up another GPG key, I think. Or import ours. All right. Oops. This command changed my life, folks. This command changed my life here. Let's go to github.com, king.ci, flux pr. So this is not a public repo, by the way, this one that I'm working on. If you did not know that, then you know now. Yeah, all right, so we did say we were going to do some other stuff. I don't know if I want to do all that stuff. I want to show you what I mean, though, at least. We got this cool Docker RVM thing that I borrowed from someone. They published it as open source, and I continued using it. Let's see, where did I fork it from? Here, this guy. And they don't maintain it as far as I can tell, because why would you? There's nothing really to it. It's not even a base image. It's a formula for a base image. I think this is really cool. So setting aside the question of why would you want more than one version of Ruby in an image at a given time, I want you to trust me that there is a reason why you would want that. All right, so we have been building these images for quite some time, and we have a Ruby 3, a special Ruby 3 support image that only contains Ruby 3s. And let's see, is it up to date other than Ruby 3.3? We should add Ruby 3.3 to it if we can. That's what I'd like to do. Maybe we'll do that on another stream. I'm not sure. Maybe we won't do it on stream. Because I don't know if people really want to use this. But I do want to talk about cultivating base images, because you kind of need to have a culture of building base images. You can't just take advantage of base images, right? If they're not built for you, they won't have your stuff in them. And that's really what is important about a base image, is it should have your stuff in it. So I mentioned gem sets. And a gem set is kind of like your stuff for a pluggable value of your. So you might have multiple applications that all have different gem requirements. And the idea of a gem set is that when the projects with overlapping gems have upgrades, they should all kind of be upgraded together, which you can really only do if you have a common maintainer, right? So we're leveraging the fact that we will be a common maintainer. We will probably have a common maintainer. We will necessarily have a common maintainer, but we don't really have any way to ensure that there is a common maintainer between projects. So So anyway, let's try and update this. Let's just see if we can do it. I'm not sure if it's going to work. I'm not sure I'm going to get everything. But I'm only going to update this latest one because the supported image is not supported. There's no reason for me to support it. I don't have anyone paying me to do that, and I don't have any Ruby projects that are in production that I need to maintain. So I don't do it. All right, so we're going to call this 1226-Ruby3. It is going to get 3.3.0, and we're going to make sure those are all the latest releases. So they might not be 3.1.4, 3.0.6. So it is pretty up to date. Yeah, they don't release a new patch version of Ruby every day. It happens a little bit less frequently than that. All right, so we need another one of these. So this is where our stuff goes in a gem cache for the version. And if we passed in, let's see, I want to do this right, so I'm just going to do it without talking for a minute here. 2, 3, 3, 0, 1, cp-r, temp cache. Oh, these are not right. I wonder how long that's been broken like that, and if anyone was impacted. Probably not, because no one uses this, like I said. So there's really no reason for me to maintain it, except if I want to use it, which I might. We'll see. Make version set. So I think I made this pretty easy to make. Just type make and it should do everything. It's going to take a while, by the way. And I don't know if it pulled the latest. Looks like it did. So we're just going to let this go. I'm actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to walk away. I don't need to watch this. You all can see my screen, and I'm not going to watch this. I'm going to go do something else for a little while. I don't really want to just leave the stream running, but I am gonna. I'll be back in a few minutes. Maybe it's done by then. Maybe it's not. Let's see if it tests, if it at least gets past the first few pushes. But this should be pretty fast because it's on a workstation that's wired into the internet, so it should be pretty fast. Oh, that's not great, but that's okay. I guess we don't need to update the old versions. We're just updating the base image. We're keeping all the rubies intact. So I don't know if this is going to work, but I think it should work. I've built from this directory before. There's a few things that have to be copied in. Like, I think I copied the Oracle thing because we were using Oracle. And that probably will get me in legal trouble someday. I'm going to hear from Larry Ellison. He's going to say, no, absolutely not. No, I'm never going to hear from Larry Ellison. He's not interested in what I'm doing, I'm sure. Hmm, that's interesting. 2.7.7.21? Well, I guess that's what you get, huh? Yeah, I did say I was going to walk away. I'm going to do that now. See you in a bit. We're still building? Yep, we're still building. All right, so we've established one thing for sure, is that this is something we'd like to happen in the CI pipeline and we'd never want to have to look at again. That would be ideal. All right, so I think we've entered the reading the news segment of the show. We can switch modes here. We're going to definitely take a look at some news. And I don't think we're going to play this song because I don't want a copyright strike, but maybe we can listen to music while we play the news? I don't know. While we read the news, I mean? We're not playing the news. So many garbage tabs. What did I get myself into? Reading all this baloney. Here, there's probably some good stuff in here. Try to not show any sensitive personal information if I can. Maybe closing tabs on the stream is not the best plan, actually. There's all sorts of inappropriate things built into this image. Like, for example, node 14 and a time zone. You know, sort of like my stuff. I don't know. It would be my stuff if I was still using this image at least. We'll look at that one later. Yeah, I got one of these Ferro sticks. That's pretty cool. Lit a fire yesterday. It worked. Guess that's the one I got actually. Yep. Cool. Don't want any of that. And we're going to reschedule this one for tomorrow. I think this will be better later. It's already past the time that we're supposed to start today. Let's try this tomorrow. Yeah. Cool. Maybe we'll do this. Like I said, I wanted to host a website, but on Kubernetes. And so far, it seems like we've come to the conclusion that a wiki is the best kind of website, in spite of the fact that it gives us some difficulty in provisioning hosting. What? We have a warning? What's going on? Warning, the stream. Did we lose our stream? Current bitrate is lower than the recommended bitrate. Oh. I guess I can live with that. I thought I had something really serious to warn me about. Okay. The stream is still going. I think we're about to wrap up for today, but I want to close as many tabs as I can first, because we did get some stuff done here. So that's a nice takeaway there. That's a good screenshot if you want to. Maybe this will be the matter of fact. Need a screen grab. Can I get? Here, this might actually work. That looks good. Oh, except I'm looking down. That's not very good. Try again. First, get it lined up. All right, we'll go like this. And then I gotta look up. Guys, maybe I should be looking at this screen. I think that's where I need to be looking, right? Yeah. Or this one? Yeah, I think I should be looking close to the camera. Yeah. How'd that look? Too dumb? No, that's actually a good. I think that's a good screen grab there. That looks just dumb enough to get me some clicks. I think that might be a positive direction for the algorithm. Okay, great. We'll try this again. No route to host Stack Overflow. Don't think we're having that problem anymore. think we're going to look at this one. Not today, but we are going to look at this one. This looks nice. Yeah. Give you the upvote. I don't know if we wind up using this or not. I did follow this guy's advice here. Stream scheme. I watched his video about, not this video, how to green screen. Set up a green screen in OBS Studio for streaming. Yeah, this is what I watched. Both of these. And they were pretty helpful.
Everyone I see on Twitch.
I wouldn't say that
Hi, I'm Steggy from
told me everything I needed to know, but they did tell me a fair number of things that I did not understand previously, and I was able to use to, as you can see, set up the green screen correctly, I hope. Or correctly-ish. We'll say correctly. All right. I think we're about done. I've plugged everyone I want to plug. Oh. And I might have something else I need to do for a little while. All right. Thanks, everyone. Peace.